I'm ready. About to put my shoes on, yep, grab my berry. Gotta hit all the fly places with my besties, making my mark on the ground. Imprint, mind was never in the right place. Messy, I lost that for a hot minute, but I found it. Yep, I found it. Never put off the ground, now I'm grounded. Now I'm grounded. Cause when one door closed, another one opens. Mama warned me one day I'd be broken, but when the broke is broken, yeah, molded. And in the end you'll only be stronger. Soon you'll see that big bubble pop, and you'll learn that them clocks don't stop. Waiting for no man, no they will not. So you keep it moving forward, not stop. And you say bye bye, bye bye, bye bye. Get out of my life. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye. Access is denied. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye. I'm feeling focused. I do me and you do you, no Sudoku. No more time for silly games, I'd rather pull out. You tried to buy my love, but it's sold out. Too many highs and bads, half-hearted. Yep, half-hearted. Didn't have strength to keep me, and you're always telling the same old story. So it reached the time I learned my lesson. Cause when one door closed, another one opens. Mama warned me one day I'd be broken, but when the broke is broken, you molded. And in the end you'll only be stronger. Soon you'll see that big bubble pop, and you'll learn that them clocks don't stop. Waiting for no man, no they will not. So you keep it moving forward non-stop, and you say bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye. My life, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye. Access is denied. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye. Didn't think I'd get away. My heart was locked down in chains and padlocks for you, babe. I felt the pain beating on me. I couldn't see the sunshine through the rain, but a rainbow comes off the rainy days. Turned my winter into a summer's day. So I had to say, yeah, had to say, yeah. Ooh, bye bye, 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 bye bye.
Beats in sync with my heartbeat, or that saying
flow, that same flow. Oh, oh, I had died for the longest.
The next half of the show is the debate, which everyone's been waiting for, and also the big chop by Desmond Murray as well. Okay? We will, when we have the debate, open up the floor for questions, but it will start off first with the panel discussing some current affairs and subjects that will be of relevance to yourself. Okay, but first, before we go into that, what we're going to do now, we're going to get Bridget, right? Back on to tell them a little bit more about what she does. For any latecomers that have come in, they can understand why she's here and what her purpose is. Okay, so we put our hands together for Bridget from B&B Cancer Boys, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon again. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello, hello, hello. Just to remind you again about what we do, who we are, B&B Cancer Voice, raising the voice of minority communities around equity of access to cancer care. They're our hair loss service. So they work with women who've been through chemo and have lost their hair. So we had a conversation with them about how many black women are actually accessing their hair loss service. They said, oh, you don't need it because you don't access it. So we said, okay, let's have a look at your catalogue. You're laughing because it's not funny. Because when we looked at the catalogue, we saw all lovely hairstyles. There was one called Vicky, the lovely bob. We saw one called Iman, not her. We saw one called something else. And then when we got to the one for the black woman, it was called Bob Marley. Not even Rita, you know, doesn't it? Not even Rita. Bob. They could have used Ziggy, he's younger, but no. And so we said to them, we're not having this. We're really not having this. So what we've done is worked with them to put our women in their catalogue and talk to them about where we buy our hair and what kind of hair we actually want to wear. So yes, we do influence change. And because of that, they won a national award somewhere down in London. And you know how it is, they didn't even mention little BME. Never said nothing about us, but they won diversity award, yes. But we're here to say that if we band together, the thing about us as black people is sometimes we can chat individually and so. Come on, ain't it, ladies? Men, you're not too bad. Except for when you get around Domino's table, don't talk, I hear. I know. But you know, we can talk. We talk about this, we talk about that. We can talk about the shoes, we can talk about the frock, we can talk about the weave, we can talk about how the eyeshadow look good. I said shoes. Yes, I did say shoes. So, but we need to talk about our health. We need to begin to band together to say, look, we need equity of access. So that's what B&B Cancer Voice is actually about. So please join us, sign up. We will send you the information. We will, you know, while I'm stood here, somebody just look at my shoes. Don't watch my shoes. Sometimes you have to be comfortable, not fashionable. So, join us as we change and influence the service that's provided to us.
Alright, so now it is time to get the debate going. Are you guys excited for the debate? Yeah. Okay, cool, that's fantastic. So who's on the panel? Okay, well let's tell you that then. We have the lovely Desmond Murray, our creative hairstylist. Please take to the stage. If you guys can just keep clapping whilst our panel takes to the stage. Desmond Murray. We have Candice Kelly from the US, representing Pearl Prep. We also have Jacqueline Shepherd, presenter of What's Up TV on Sky One. And we also have Rachel Sini representing UKnaturals. And we have, if you would want to give me your notes, you want to take it? The lovely Elle from Natural Hair Daily, putting them together. So the lovely Vina Best, one of our co-founders of the event and also the founder of Officially Natural, will be taking the lead on the debate. Panel, are you ready? Yeah. They are ready. So we will open up for questions at the end. I will be around with the microphone. We'll only be able to have a few, so as soon as the panel let me know that we can't take any more questions, that will be it, I'm afraid. Okay? So I'll hand it over to Dina Beth. Thank you.
Thank you. Is everybody having a great day today? Yes! Really? Yes! I can't hear anyone. Really? Yes! That sounds much, much better. Today we will be having an interactive debate. So although we've got the panelists here, we really want you guys to get involved in what the discussion is. So we've seen in the last 10 years that there are a number of women who are transitioning back to natural hair. So we want to know and want to discuss the influences that it has on ourselves, on businesses, in the UK, and the influence on children. So first and foremostly, Desmond Murray as a hairdresser. Tell us about your experience and what you've seen in the last 10 years in regards to the changes of women returning back to natural.
Okay, so after 10 years ago, most of my clients really, I'd say a large percentage used to have obviously straighteners. And within the I'll say probably 2 to 3 years, there's been a big shift where there's a lot of clients going back to natural. And what they tend to do, they tend to kind of, some of them tend to want to keep their hair natural, so they maybe have maybe a keratin, and that's considered not as damaging as a relaxer, and it's a little bit more gentle on the hair, so to speak. And some ladies just literally just go natural. They obviously cut their hair off and then wear their hair natural. Again, you know, I think over the years, I think trends have changed in regards to hair and wearing your hair. And I think events like this play a big role. I think, you know, there's a lot more bloggers, so they blog about natural hair. And there's a lot of YouTube videos, you know, so I think on a whole, you know, for me, it's been a great journey, and it's, you know, being a hairdresser, I tend to pick up on trends, and I tend to set a few trends as well. But what's really nice, especially being on this tour, it's been a great journey for me, because just seeing the audience and seeing, you know, there's certain places that we've been. I think it was Bristol, yeah. And in the audience, there was 2 specific ladies, and they had amazing hair. And I'm looking around and I'm like, you know, how did you do that? And they said they learned it on YouTube. So that just goes to show that there's been a big shift. And yeah, it's been great, absolutely great. You know, long may it be.
Thank you. Candice Kelly from the US. So we've known that the US has been a key source in terms of pioneering natural hair in the last 10 years. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Hello. Thank you for coming out, and it's nice to be over here and see all of this happening so organically. Back in the States, like she said, a lot has already been going on. If you go to Brooklyn, New York, most of the women are natural. You'll be hard-pressed to find anybody with straight hair. And if they have a weave, it's going to be a natural hair-looking weave, which is huge in the US. I'm not sure how huge it is here. But the changes have really been, for me, what I've seen on a business landscape. Because back in the States, I do what Vina and Diane do, and I put on these big natural hair events. My last event in New York City had about 5,000 women, and we were wrapped around the blocks. So it was a huge event. But I've seen this trend where this is something that Black women own. Many times we do things, and then there are other cultures, other ethnicities that come in, and they try to own the natural hair market, or they try to own whatever market we're doing, because we're trendsetters. A lot of people look at us. But now I see that so many women especially, and it's a strange place sometimes for even a man to find his way in. Back in the States, it's usually a room of women that have the mic, that are taking the lead, and that are owning businesses. So what I'm seeing over in the States is that women are getting together not just about hair anymore. We're just getting together, period, because we have natural hair, but we're getting together and we're doing workshops about branding. We're getting together, we're talking about growing our businesses. We're also trendsetters in that there are a lot of relaxers that are in warehouses that are out there collecting dust back in the States because they're just not moving anywhere. We're also trendsetters too, because when it comes to marketing, like a Target or a Macy's that we have, or a Walmart, I don't know if they have it out here, in terms of the print ads and TV ads, it's mostly natural-haired women. Hasn't quite reached Hollywood yet, okay, which is why we have Oscar-nominated actresses getting kind of pummeled because of their natural hair. But when it comes to everything else, what I'm seeing is that we are forcing everybody to stop, look, and change the way that they totally do things. And it's opening up markets for women to come in, start their own businesses, put food on their tables, keep the lights on, all because women get together just like this and they buy a headband or they buy my product, and then it really just changes economically what is going on in our communities. It's even to a point, and I'll end on this, where there are many white women who come up to me and say, you know, I'm really trying to get my girlfriend to go natural. They know what we know, because you can't miss the change. I have events like this, and sometimes white men will come out, because sometimes I speak about hair on a more academic level, and white men will come out and they'll talk about natural hair in their workplace. I see white men back there now, and it's always interesting to hear their perspective because they see it too. So that's what I see, is that there's just no way to miss us. We are here to stay. It is not a trend, it's not going away. Okay, but this mic does. Here.
So we definitely know that natural hair is not a fad, and it's not a trend, and it's here to stay. On that note, can we hear from Rachel about the reasons why you think and believe that natural hair is not a fad, not a movement, and is here to stay?
Because we are the original people. Everybody came from a black woman. So we cannot be a trend, we cannot be a fad, we cannot be a movement. The encouragement of us coming together may be a trend or a movement, but I do believe that it is here to stay, like Candy said, and I do hope that it empowers more women to connect, because I do feel as black women we've had a disconnect for a very long time, and we need to feel comfortable being in a setting like this and don't feel like a woman is giving you a dirty look or staring you down. Like, you can feel comfortable to actually compliment another black woman and say, do you know what, you are beautiful the way you are. So I do believe that it's not a movement, it's not a trend, but I do hope it becomes bigger. It becomes bigger than it actually is at the moment, and it transcends to everywhere, not just the UK or the US, but globally.
So let's hear from Jackie. As somebody who is on the radio and also on the television, how do you think that we can be influenced more by seeing women on TV that have natural hair, like yourself?
Yeah, hello everyone. And it's really refreshing to see so many beautiful women embracing their hair naturally. And it would be nice if we could see that reflected on television as well. And there's a lack of that reflection on television. And although it wasn't necessarily my initial motivation as a presenter, it's certainly part of my motivation now, ensuring that, you know, when I am on TV, I'm happy to rock my hair in its many versatile ways as natural hair can be. I think it's a responsibility for me to do that as well, because as a child growing up, you know, I didn't see that many black women on TV who didn't have straight hair. So, you know, I went through the days of weave, of relaxer and so on and so forth, because that was what I was seeing in the masses. And it wasn't necessarily healthy to only be seeing one version of a black woman. And so I want to try and be a little part of, evening out that playing field and showing that, we are many, and I'm one of many, but this is what our hair looks like, or is one way in which our hair looks like. And actually, the television landscape has been really encouraging of my natural hair. I wouldn't have necessarily thought that was going to be the case, and it would be nice to see other presenters or other women of colour who have been going to the weed to perhaps just embrace their natural hair as well. I think it would send a great message to all of us, and it would also help to say, look, we are here, we are visible, let's just continue that visibility, but we just don't see it enough, so I'm just one of many coming up, I hope.
On that note, talking about products, we've seen a new type of product which makes your hair go from natural to straight. Some agree with it, some don't agree with it. So we want to hear from the panel on what their thoughts are on this new natural to straight system. Let's hear firstly from Rachel.
Okay, I don't agree with this product. I think it's a straightening system, basically. It's supposed to make your hair straighter for up to 6 to 8 weeks. It's a natural straightening system. It's supposed to put proteins in your hair through its conditioner, and then you straighten your hair with flat iron or blow dry or whatever. Me, Elle, and some other bloggers went to their launch events, and they had a video of this lady, and her hair was curly, then it went straight, and then it was curly. But when it went back to curly, her hair was damaged. And I felt like if they're comfortable to show that to people to sell their product, they don't care. That's how I saw it. And then yesterday, I was walking down the road and I saw a bus that has a massive banner of one of these products that says, straight hair for longer. And I was like, wait a minute, I thought your product's supposed to be a healthy alternative to straighter hair. So I'm very concerned with the marketing, because there's another product that's doing a similar thing that's called texture manageability. That word manageability is an issue for me. Why does our hair need to be managed for it? Why does it doesn't have to be straight for it to be manageable? That's the issue that I have. So that product itself, I have no desire to use it. There's people out there who want to use it, they're feel free to use it. But what I say, if you're going to use it, do your education first. Because a lot of people have used this product and their hair has not reverted back after probably about 6 or 7 washes. And that in itself is telling me that this product is not 100% natural. There's something in there that is either working as a very light texturizer or a very light chemical treatment, and you have to be careful with what you're using, because the marketing is getting a lot of people. Their marketing teams are amazing, they're doing their job, but you have to be very aware of what's going on, because there is a decline in relaxers and they're trying to get their money back. So this is what they're doing, because the people that own these products do not look like us, and they do not have a demand for a product like us. So we need to be careful, and just, if you're going to do it, have educated minds, so if something does go wrong, you know why. You can't blame anybody but yourself. So that's my standpoint on it.
Hi, my name's Amy. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on the fact that, why do you think it has not been in the maybe mindset or mission of black hair magazines to really push the revolution of the natural hair movement? Why do you think it's taken natural hair bloggers such as Ellen Nisi to really push forward with the movement, rather than black hair magazines pushing that movement a lot faster and easier?
Let's hear from Rachel first.
I've asked the same question that you've asked to the black hair magazines, and the answer that I got was the demand wasn't there. That's what they told me. So I responded with, you're supposed to be the people that are giving us the information about our hair and giving us images. Why didn't you become the pioneers? Because if you're a black hair magazine, that means you should have every single type of black hair in your magazine. And they didn't answer me. So I see it as, if you're not comfortable with what they're showing you, don't buy it. When you stop buying their magazine, they're going to have to make a change. So you have to, when you want to see a change, you have to be the change. So if you're not, I stopped buying them years ago. If you're not happy with them, stop buying them. There's nothing forcing you to buy it. And if you don't like it, write to the editor and let them know. Go on Twitter, go on Instagram and let them know that you're not happy with it. And they're going to have to listen eventually. When you speak up, they will listen. So if, like I said, if you don't like it, don't buy it.
Thank you.